Hey y'all, it's Crystal from Triple C Creations Crafting coming to you from the beautiful North Georgia mountains, and we are on day 2 of our 2025 snowstorm, I guess. I don't know that you'd call it a snowstorm. It has been snowing again today. It snowed overnight. It snowed several hours yesterday. I've not seen it snow that long and that hard here for a long time. And so we had maybe I measured at most 3.5 inches yesterday. My kids said they measured, I think, 4. And then we probably got another ½ inch overnight. And then I don't know what we got today. It was very fine, but it was falling pretty good. But it has like packed and froze today. So I don't know when we'll go out. Today's Saturday and we do not have church tomorrow. We didn't have school yesterday. I don't know that we'll have school Monday. We will see. But I am trying some new things. If you notice, this is not my typical, this is not paper crafting, it's not Christmas ornaments, but so I have been wanting to try wax melts or wax seals for a while, and I have a friend that does it, and I kind of started playing with it, and I've not bought anything to do this with, so and I did my nails yesterday, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to ruin my nails. And I might, because I am kind of close to the candle over here. But I've not bought anything. I have used what I had on hand. So for my stamps, let me show you what I've used. I have pulled out some buttons. And the first time I tried this, it was this button, and I glued it to a wooden dowel that was, well, it was about the size of the button. It was about this long. And it was heavy. I just felt like it was too heavy. So I took it off, and I decided clothespins would work great because the part of the button where it attaches fits right up in the groove of this clothespins. I just hot glued them on. So I have made 3 stamps. And these are all metal stamps. I did try a flower plastic one, and I just didn't like the design of it. I don't know that it really mattered that it was plastic, but I didn't like it. So these are the ones I'm not sure about this line one. I was kind of trying to use it because it doesn't have a lot of design, and I was trying to do some clear. My hot glue is not very clear. You really, I think, need this specialized like crystal clear hot glue to do the clear ones, and mine's not that way. But I also didn't have good luck with it turning loose from my my buttons or my stamps. So I have made these 3. They're different sizes. This one is, let's see, this one is it's about 7/8, and this one is this one's 5/8, and I believe this one's a 5/8, 3/4 of an inch. So they're all a little bit different. I definitely know I like this one. I like this one. Like I said, my jury's still out on this one. Now, I am resting these on an ice pack, and that definitely makes a big difference in them turning loose. My ice pack is kind of melty, and I have learned that if they've got water on them, that will show on your stamp. So let me show you some of the ones I have made. So this is the star one, and this is the I don't know what it is. It looks kind of like an Aztec symbol to me, but it's a little bit smaller. And the first time I started making these, and I'm making these using crayons, just regular. These are Crayola crayons. That's the only crayons I had at the house. I did try using a hot glue gun. Okay, so I had one of the Dollar Tree hot glue guns. So I'm telling you this because I've done it, and I tried putting a crayon in it, and I used the Dollar Tree one because I paid $1 or $1.25. I've had these a while. If it tore it up, oh well. And I ended up just throwing the glue gun away. It did not fit. It did not feed. I ended up, I did get one crayon to go through, but I had to literally just push it all the way through. It would not feed, and it's too big. I have read that if you use an off-brand crayon, that they are smaller and they fit better, but I decided it was just not worth risking it. So again, I've not bought anything for this. That was a hot glue gun I already had. I ended up throwing it away. I decided it was not salvageable. So I'm using regular crayons, and I got to doing some more research, and the first ones I made when I was just using crayon wax were very brittle. They were the wax was very thin, so like my stamp was going all the way through it, and right onto my mat. So like there was like holes in my stamp whenever it was done. So I got to doing some research, and it said to put hot glue with it. So I first took hot glue sticks, the little hot glue sticks, and I was cutting them up. And at first I was using a ratio of 1 piece of crayon, and this is, if you're knowing your parts, if your pieces are equal, I was using 1 piece of crayon to 2 pieces of wax. So I cut up my wax, and you can see I've got my crayons cut up here. So I was using 1 piece of crayon to 2 pieces of wax, and that worked all right. It was still kind of brittle, so I kept going on, and I was doing some more research, and then I read where it said 1 piece of crayon to 2 pieces of wax, 2 pieces of glue, and that seems to be the trick, using more hot glue. Okay, so again, I was using 1 piece of crayon to 2 pieces of hot glue. Now I will say, in the way I'm melting it, and I think any way you're melting it, it does take longer for the hot glue to melt. And then your wax, your crayon is kind of boiling, and your glue is still melting, and so you kind of remove it and you stir it up, and the toothpick works well for stirring. I'm trying something different now, but a toothpick, I have been just using regular, toothpicks off your dinner table. And as long as you're on the same color, you can just use the same toothpick. You just use that to stir it up, because as your crayon is hot and you put your hot glue in there, then the heat from the crayon that's already, like I said, is boiling, is going to keep melting that hot glue. It takes a while. And I gotta cut up the hot glue, and then I got to thinking, why am I not just using my hot glue gun? The glue will already be kind of melted. So that's what I started doing. I am using a piece of crayon, and then I can't measure it as well, so this is kind of, trial and error, but I am still trying to do a ratio of 1 piece of crayon to 2 parts hot glue, and you can always add more. I've got my hot glue gun here. I do have it set on high, because I figured the highest temp would work best to keep it kind of melted, because it does kind of harden, and I kind of have to, I don't want to say remelt it, but I don't know. I'm doing hot. I'm doing high. It seems to be working well. Now, what am I melting in? Well, I just have a candle I had laying around. This is a teaspoon that was from my kitchen. Now, somebody's probably going to comment that like this is the wrong kind of spoon. I don't even know what this is made out of. I do know it's very thin. I have multiple sets of these. This is one thing I'm always looking for at thrift stores, is extra measuring spoons, and this is like the absolute cheapest kind you can get, and this is a teaspoon. I did have a half a teaspoon, and it really did not seem like it was big enough when I was trying to stir things, so I moved to a teaspoon. The cleanup on it, I will say, when you go to clean up, some people were saying, well, I don't clean it. I don't clean my spoon, whether it's a teaspoon or if it's the actual like spoons for doing this. They have the little lip to pour. I don't have that. Well, as I do it, it kind of drips down. You can see the bottom is where I've had it over the candle. I just when I am done, and like there's extra wax in it, I just heat it up and take a paper towel and wipe it off. Now it does leave, I do have that's what I did with this one. I've not washed it. I've just wiped it out, and you can see the wax is all gone. I do have a black spot where it's been over the candle, but otherwise it's clean. So I don't feel like I've got a lot of waste. What else? Let's see. I am using my silicone mat. I did start by doing this completely on silicone. And then I got to reading where a towel works great. Well, I had these towels already that I was going to do Christmas ornaments out of, and I've not done that yet. But it works great. I've got some wax on it still, but it comes right off. I've not had any staining. Now I've not done I've done the navy, and I've not done red. But I mean, just based on what I've done, I don't know that I would have staining. So, anyways, that's what I've got. Let's see. So I've got my candle. I am using an ice pack. Like I said, I found that it's working really well. My stamps turn loose. I've got my homemade stamps that I've made that I have pennies in these because, you know, I have these buttons lying around. My hot glue gun, my spoon, my crayon, and honestly, let me tell you how I chopped up my crayon, and I'm going to say chop, not cut. I tried cutting them with some like trauma shears, if you know what that are. If you got anybody it's a first responder, you know what those are. I actually found that my spoon is very thin, and it was easier just to lay that on the crayon and kind of break it up that way. So, I mean, honestly, that was how I broke it. It worked better than anything else I found. I was using like I said, a toothpick to mix this up, but I have this little spatula thing that came from the Dollar Tree. I think it's actually in the cake aisle, or cake like decorating stuff. And I tried it because then I can kind of scrape out the wax better. Now I don't know how it'll clean up. Let's see. It's not silicone. I have seen some little tiny silicone spatulas just for this to help you like scrape out the spoon, you know, like you're scraping out a bowl. But I got this out a minute ago and I'm trying it. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and let's make ours. Now, like some things about the stamps. I did try a stamp that had a lot of depth here, I guess, or it hung down. Well, actually, it would have stuck up. And the problem is whenever I put that into the wax, it went much deeper, like all the way down to my mat or my tile. So again, I was ending up with holes. So you kind of want some stamps. You kind of want them to be, I don't want to say flat, but flatter. You know, this one's not completely flat, but it's definitely pretty flat. That one was almost kind of pointy. So, anyways, and since my thing is melting, I am getting some water on these. I just wipe it on my shirt first before I stick it in my wax, because everywhere you have a little drop of water, it shows in your wax. So, but again, I have bought nothing for this. So, if you're like me and you're snowed in right now, here is a fun craft to go try. So I'm going to put a piece of crayon in. These are not, I mean, I tried to break them up the same, but they're not. And everybody's got old crayons, right? And then I'm going to squeeze out some hot glue in here. Like I said, I'm going to try to do about 2 parts of hot glue to my 1 part crayon. And I'm just going to hold it over my candle. Hey, Daisy, you need to go out, honey? Just a minute. And I don't know if you can see it, but you can see my hot glue is clear and my crayon is blue. So I will, as it starts melting, let's see about mixing it with this. And I may end up going back to a toothpick. But you know, this little tool, excuse me, this little tool, I got it in I don't even think I paid $1.25 for it. I think it was like in a pack of like 3 things. I have never used it for anything. If I throw it away after this, it's not a big deal. And I will go back to using a toothpick. My only thought about using this is so I can scrape the wax out of the spoon, because you can't really, it's kind of hard to scrape with a toothpick. All right, so now I'm going to make sure my glue is mixed, because what you'll end up with is like a glob of glue and it's harder. So you really have to make sure that your glue is mixed. And I think it was easier to tell when I did light colors than when I did a dark color that it was all melting. So now I'm going to pour it out. It's kind of trial and error about how much to use. If I have a lot of wax, I will use my bigger stamp. If I don't have as much, I will use one of my smaller stamps. All right, notice I left some in there. Okay, I'm going to make sure I got my water off. I'm going to place this right in the middle, and you want your wax to come out around your stamp just a smidge, just a little bit. You want that ring around it. I do think it would be nice to have like the little silicone trays that they kind of tell you, I think it helps you measure your wax, and I also think it would keep your wax seals like uniform size. I don't know how that would work though with different size stamps, since I do have some smaller ones. You know, the ones you buy are all the same size. Mine are not. But you know, that since these are smaller, if I have less wax, like this, you know, I'm scraping the bottom, then I can still do a seal, and it, you know, it still look all right. That's why I like these are, you know, they're different sizes because it's the different amount of wax. Well, I use different buttons or seals, but then I had different amount of wax. That one I threw in a piece of the pink right before I put the seal down. So, all right, now I'm doing this on camera. Let's see if it works. Putting it on the cold pack, it does definitely seem like it turns loose better. Also, getting the right ratio of hot glue in there, it turns loose better. And when I was using just straight crayon, it was sticking really, really bad. And so I'm just gonna gently pull on it. Gently. If it doesn't turn loose, that may mean that it is not, it's not cool enough. Or, you know, I'm on camera and it's not wanting to cooperate. This is something else from the Dollar Tree that I pulled out of my toolbox. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for. I feel like it's sat long enough. Alright, if my button comes off, I'm going to be really upset, y'all. It didn't. Okay. So there's my button. Come up. Look, there's nothing stuck to it. And there's my wax seal. Now it is stuck to my ceramic tile. Oh, there we go. I just had to, once I got my finger under the edge, it just popped up. So there it is. And like I said, I've bought nothing. I have no extra money invested in this. So I'm pretty excited. Now, I've not tried putting these on anything. I know you can order like round stickers to put on these, but I also wonder about using like glue dots, because I do have a lot of glue dots that I had bought on clearance at Walmart, and they have just come with various things. So I wonder about using glue dots, and I want to get more buttons when I go to Walmart. I don't really find buttons at thrift stores, but I may have to actually go look at buttons in the button section at Walmart to look for stamps. It's still way cheaper than ordering all the individual stamps. I think I might have some stamps coming that I ordered off Temu, like on a super cheap deal. I'm not even sure. I might have been shopping late at night, but I am so excited about these. I've had a ball making them, and I kind of just did one color at a time. So let's check this out. This was a whole crayon that I cut up and made this morning. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 wax seals. I think I keep calling them wax seals out of one crayon. That I just, out of a box off the shelf. And my boys are not going to color with pink. So, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I had a fun time making this. If you've got any suggestions about, basic home supplies, then leave them in the comments below. I am new to this, but it was very... it was kind of scary to try it, and I kind of just had to jump in. So I hope this video, if you're wanting to do it and you've been like me, you're like, ooh, I'm playing with fire. It's not scary. It's really not. And I did this with all things I had laying at home. So again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and until next time, see you later.